having some water, some sweets, some snacks, you know, anything on the side.
Get comfortable.
Get comfortable. Maybe take a hit of a pen if you have a pen.
Yes.
You know, whatever makes you feel like, you know, you're just hanging.
Let me just grab my mango candy really quick from the kitchen.
Yes, there you
do
go.
whatever you want to do.
Speaking of which, let me go grab some pulver on. I'll be back 1 second.
I'm like in the middle of uploading and I was just like, I'm gonna get my candy and then I'm good to go.
What are you uploading? What are you doing?
Oh my God. I had to finish, what is this? I had to finish this like 10-minute narrative dance project. And I like looped myself in and said yes because the homie said, "Hey, you wanna help me in something? I could edit." And then
10 minutes. That's an ordeal though.
Well, no, I did 5 because they needed to submit it today for a submission. So I was like, okay, let me do this now and get them.
Is it for the Instagram that you work for?
No.
This is something completely something else.
It's for something different. Literally, I've been sick the past few days.
Same.
Dude.
Yeah, dude.
Like a flu, or what do you guys have?
I don't know if mine resorted to me being sick. Hold on, I'm just sending this final link. Okay, this is.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
I'll keep it open. Keep an emergency.
Girl, you getting paid for this fucking 10-minute thing? They gonna pay you some cash? What's the deal?
Nah, it's a homie favor. You know how it is.
Okay. How long you been doing that for now?
Low key, I started it yesterday.
What do you mean, editing or the video?
The video. I edited the video yesterday and they already pulled selects for me. I was like, all right, they were great and organized. I pulled the selects, I just cut it up and then made it 5 minutes. Technically, I think there's 20 scenes, so we cut up to 6 and they only need 1 through 6. So I was like, okay. And then they had a meeting. I was like, hey, I didn't get to edit everything, but I'll live edit for you right now. And I just started trimming shit and then yeah, and I just like sent it over just now. So I'm just like,
is this like a documentary that you're working on, or?
Well, I have a homie submitting for a festival. It has to be a short film, but it's dance called Kinetic.
Okay.
We're just submitting today. So I was just like, take the fucking link, take the link, because you keep getting me some notes. So I was just like, take it. And I was just like, it's gonna keep changing after like 6 revisions. I did like 5 and I was like, I just did some sound design a little bit and I was like, take it. I want to look at this for the next few days, but tomorrow I might be like doing the rest of this scene. Yeah. I think there's 15 scenes. Don't quote me, but I'm like, okay, I'll just kill it. And then when we get back, they're going to color it. I'll like fucking take it after. That's what I just did. I'm a little tired, but long story short, I got sick because I was like so busy last week. I was doing a bunch of shit. I was like, oh, I'm going to die. And I did. I low-key died last week, and it was not cute. Like, fucking wild.
You were already sick, or you got sick from working so hard?
For working so hard. Let me see. Hold on. Let me look at my schedule.
It was cold as fuck last week, too, though.
It was really cold.
Yeah,
it was. Also a lot of water, too.
Yeah. What did I do last week? So last week, I was like back-to-back with meetings, so I was talking a lot. Like, I'm in a training program, which I told Dawn about.
A training program for what?
So I got accepted to the Warner Brother HBO training program for being a post-production supervisor. 7 weeks. Yeah, and I've been killing it low key. We're already coming to the end. We graduate next month, so I'll be able to hire as a post sup. So last week I had training, and then I had training and I had like meetings with individuals that were in my industry as well as like mentors. So we just had back. If I had to do it, it's like 10 a.m. on last Tuesday, I had like a branding thing that I had to do, which was just like somebody asked me like, hey, do you want to rebrand? And they scheduled me and they like told me, what are you doing in 2035 and what do you want to do? So we were just talking about, I was like, holy shit, what the fuck did I just go through? So like talking about like, how can I, like they asked me, what do you want to make in 2035? I was like, I want to make 6 figures. She's like, what if we can try to double
make 6 figures?
Yeah.
That was your response to this lady?
Yeah, I was like, I want to make 6 figures in 10 years. Like,
let's go.
She said, what if I told you can double that? I was like, I'm just trying to make 1 6 figure, not 2 6 figures.
Ooh, 2 6 figures. Well, 2 6 figures is life-changing money, though. Jeez.
1 6 figures is life-changing money.
I know 1 6 figures is life-changing money. Yeah.
But for a post super, you can hit 6 figures because their starting salary is like 1,200,000. I was like, if I even land a job. So that happened at 10 a.m. I had a meeting with one of my mentors, told them what was happening. And then they were just like, you know what, focus on this track. And then I had homework and then that I had to do at 4. And at 7 p.m., we just had like a post super training the whole day. But let me just tell you, that was Tuesday. That last weekend, I literally had class and I was doing a live stream for Prelude. And I was up. Prelude is that dance competition. So I literally was Saturday. I'm waking up super early so I can get to the place with my friend because I crashed at his place. I was like, yo, I need you. If I help you with live streaming, you need to let me crash. You drive. I have to edit videos, but take my class at 12. I'll set up super early, but my class is 4 hours. So from 12 to 4, I was literally in class just sitting there. I was like, I gotta get back to this live stream. The stream started at like 5 or 6. So I only had an hour left. And the show was from then until like late. We like chilled. I got home at 4 a.m. The next day we had a photo shoot. And then we had this week. And every day of the week I had different like meetings and gatherings. Oh wait, let me put myself on do not disturb.
How much sleep are you clocking in?
Probably got like 15 or 18 hours of sleep. Because I was literally just like, I'm not gonna make it. And that's what got me sick. But what was crazy where I had to be up, like I had to be up to my par was because one of my mentors that I was meeting up with, I'm in this mentorship program. So I have different mentors that I can connect with. But
yeah,
one of them was an ex-Netflix, but also found out she was the founder of Light Iron. I didn't know that. And then
okay.
Hey, do you want to go to a Light Iron party? Sure. And I was just networking 4 hours straight. I was like, oh, I'm going to die. We kind of went into spiel, like, you know, being the first in my family to go into film, first in like Filipino woman trying to aim to be in that goal. So it's just like a lot of things are just like, okay, in 10 years, you can do this. So I was like, oh shit, I could do this shit. So,
you could. It seems like you're on your way though.
I will hope so. Like, this is just my insecurities coming out. But
I got you.
It's fine. I totally get it though. You're trying to like.
That's your imposter syndrome talking.
I'm trying to own it though, because the way my networking has been coming up, and then the support I've been getting, like meeting one of my mentors who's in Light Iron, and she's like, "Hey, meet these people because these are the vendors you'll be working with." And I was just like, "Hey, you're right. I gotta work with these people, and I gotta understand certain things." So. It was interesting, but like I definitely knew after that weekend I was done. Like I got sick and woke up the next morning like done. I was like I couldn't talk. Like I had class the next day and I was like no words are coming out. I was typing. I was like I want to say this.
You had flu. You had nauseousness. You have headache. What happened?
I just couldn't talk and I was coughing, but it wasn't like it was like a dry cough. And I was like, and I had no vocal cords.
Maybe you had COVID.
No, I took a COVID test. I'm negative. It was right here.
Yeah. You saved it. You saved it. Wow.
Yeah, today you want my evidence? Took this shit.
Oh man. That shit
weak. Don't tell me not. I got PTSD from this damn.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, that's like everything that's been happening in the past 2 weeks. So I was dying, and I was like, "Oh, do I want to do this podcast? Because my throat is killing me." And I was like, I could probably do it.
If you didn't even say that you were sick, I wouldn't even noticed.
Well, I'm eating candy, so we'll see by next morning if I'm okay.
Are you having wait, you said mango candy or is it like lozenges that you're having right now?
Ricola.
Cepacol, any of those?
That's the Filipino shit?
Filipino mango? Yeah, that works just as good too.
I haven't had that in a long time. It's
dried mangoes.
But I do have the lozenges on the side, so I was like, I'll pop one in, pop whatever to like survive. I pop like probably.
Dang, dude, that is like a heckin' hustle. But I'm glad that you're doing this. No, like don't doubt yourself when it comes to like the things that you're doing right now. Like trust me, imposter syndrome is something hard to fight, but you're doing it. And you're also one of the people I know who actually does it. Not just speaks about it, but actually does it and knows how to do it. So just keep on trucking, homie, like you're doing it. So
I hope so. Like, if you put me in a room of other people, I'll be like, I fucking hope I'm doing the right fucking shit, dude. Right.
Let me ask you a weird question. How old are you?
I'm 30 as of 2025.
30 as of 2020. Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing it?
Editing since high school, so 2012.
Okay.
I love it. Yeah, because I went to a film high school. So we had cohorts and all that stuff. So that's what I did during that time.
Did you go to that for school in college?
I did TV production, so that's why I got into live streaming and stuff like that, like more on the TV broadcast. So that's what I did in college. But I still did editing, but there was no point because I was like almost teaching the class, and I was like, yeah, nah, I'm not learning anything in this. So I did TV production because I was just like, I can actually use this. And then, what do you know? COVID happened, and all they do is live streaming right now. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
And now do you work for a company that does that, or no? You're on your own trying to find gigs for yourself?
I'm fun employed.
Oh, no. I'm just asking.
I have my LLC, but it doesn't pay enough. Like I've always had my LLC on the side because I always did 2 to 3 jobs at the same time. Right before I got let go, I was doing 3 jobs, and then I got let go. So I'm still doing 2 jobs technically. And then I took up another side gig that's not paying me enough, but it's just an editing gig. So I'm doing like 2 to 3 jobs at the same time. So I'm hoping for 2025, I got one solid job I could stay
Let's go.
with. And then I'll still do my side gigs on the side. But
there you go.
Just one job, just one.
I know. I run a store. I don't want to say ran. I'm making it sound like it's past tense. No, I run an online store. And my dream for it is for it to be so big that I can quit my regular job. I'm just my own thing. Oh my God. Truthfully, it's been so fucking hard. This last quarter, the company which like hosts my, like one of my sites changed their algorithm so fucking bad. So now everyone legit, me and all my competitors have lost like 75% of our sales in the last 3 weeks. So it's like, what the fuck is going on?
Is it Etsy by any chance?
Yes, Etsy changed their fucking algorithm on August whatever. And I thought it was a me thing because really legit the strategy in Etsy is that you kind of have to always have activity, and stores that have activity always get rewarded. That's just how the game works. So you have to keep on updating your listings every year or adding more of the same exact shit. That's the strat, okay? But I thought I was like losing sales because I didn't do that yet. But no, like I have I pay for like a tracker that tracks everyone, all my competition sales, and they've lost it too. So it's like, fuck, what the hell is going on? It's not just like I didn't do something, like everyone's fucked. But yeah, man, it's tough. I get it. I don't want to say that I understand because, you know, working 2 to 3 jobs is kind of fucking a lot, dude. That's some Jamaican shit.
Yeah, well, like Don knows this too. Like when you sign up for this industry and whatever happens, you either are doing more than one job.
Yeah.
Unless you got really lucky and you could do, you only need to work one job. But the way this industry has been going, and like all of my coworkers or like a lot of people that I know, everyone's been losing their jobs left and right. Like
even to this day, like it never recovered?
No, it's like still kind of in a weird spiral. Like people are like losing jobs. And I get it because back when the pandemic first happened, like I bought like more cameras just because I'm like, look, there's a chance Panavision may never call me back. I gotta be realistic that I have to book whatever jobs I can to like get me back in the field, right? Yeah, because I got furloughed for 8 months and it looked pretty bad. I was like, the job that I worked so hard to get, yeah, I'm fucked. You know, this is just life laughing at me, right? Yeah, I was just scraping for whatever could come my way. If it meant editing, I'll edit, like crap. Like it sucked because in my personal lane, like I know what jazz does, but I don't want to specialize in it because it's like a different, like I want to be behind the camera. That's like my lane. So, you know, in this field, you have to wear multiple hats. So you have to be like, okay, I have to be, you know, able to direct. I have to camera up. I have to edit. You know, I have to be able to do sound. So you're willing to take anything and everything. And I know actors who also do the same thing where they're like wearing different hats because they just need to get their foot in the door or just keep bills paid. You know, and that just comes with the turf of it, man. So, dude, I get the hustle. Just got to do what you got to do. Like you got to burn the midnight oil, but it also tests how much you either love this field or really want to do what you want to do.
Ain't that true?
This industry is not for the weak. It's for you gotta fight through this shit because it's not even funny. Like I think I've said that. So I think I did like a panel talk one time. I was like, I'm not ready to do this panel talk in my mind, but someone asked like, "Oh, would you recommend this industry to anybody?" I was like, "No, I will not recommend this industry to anybody." Like,
did they laugh?
I think they were like shocked. they wanted me to say something really nice about it. I was like, no,
Fuck
I don't
that
want to.
though.
I went to a film high school, and maybe like 3 or 4 of us are actually still in film. We were the first graduates, and my whole graduating class were supposed to be at least like be able to be in film. And I was just like, some people that I know that was in it for a hot minute, they switched into tech because they couldn't find work.
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
isn't that kind of fucking funny now? It's so hard to find work in tech too. It's fucking insane.
Tech, coding, any of those things.
Tech people get the same thing as me. It's like you can't just be one thing in tech. You're either front end, back end, full stacks, all that. In this industry of film, if you can do more than film, cool. Because like even for me, like Don knows this, I'm like, I don't direct. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't like do production. Like I could do camera work. I could do like a little bit of everything to just know, but post is everything that I know. I have a bare understanding of the workflow. However, because I have that management and I had an understanding of it in like the pre-production, so there's pre-production and post.
Yeah, post, yeah.
I basically knew the beginning and end. The production side, I'm just here. Like, y'all do the creative magic. I'll just see it at the end type of shit. But because everybody in our industry needed work, I had to do a little bit of pre and production together, which is like doing more like a coordinating job. That was on the theater side, aside from media and film. So I had to do other jobs on the side, like TV production, separate thing. You gotta do stuff in like every little industry to survive. Because if you can only do film and your film goes your industry goes obsolete, you gotta be able to switch to a different industry is the other thing. And he knows, see, he's smiling. He knows I'm right. Like you can't.
Yeah. That's kind of the foulness about, I guess, sometimes like being in today's workforce is that knowing what you want to do and specializing it in it, you can't actually put yourself in a box. You have to be willing to be, oh, I can do all these different shits, even though I don't want to do all these shits. But because of the instability of today, I must know those shits in the event that my entire field collapses. We have to be ready to jump back into a different side of the field. I think, and I'm just relating this sometimes to like adulthood. Like we want to do something, we focus on our lane, but because there's a lot of factors outside of our control, like we now have to like do other avenues of getting like income or stability, right? Aside from like our day jobs, we also have like a second hustle, a third hustle, right? I'm just wondering if there will be a time where I can kind of not have to like split my energy and kind of just have one that's like consistently working and not have to feel like my second hustle is keeping me alive.
I think so many industries are fucked. You always have to have that mindset.
Right. You know.
Well, the other mindset is almost, and I feel like it's crazy. Job postings don't work no more. I think word of mouth is across every industry now. Everyone losing a job. Priority is anybody that's been recommended. And how just like, why did I apply then? Why did I even apply to the job if like I don't even have a chance? Which is the other thing where I'm like, well, everybody's fucked because you make sure you're friends with everybody or you're like, like, yo, you got my back type of shit. And then they're just like, I could put a word in for you type of thing. And I'm like, this is so fucked. But I'm like, fuck everybody else. I'm like, I'm gonna go like put my name in the round.
I don't even blame you for that. 100%. You're gonna get the damn. Yo, come on now.
Like it's so hard though. If you're not in it, like if you're not like well networked with in any industry, you're fucked if you apply because you're gonna go through that depression of like I submitted an application and I get ghosted because like I didn't get the chance to have my application seen. If that makes sense.
Well, hold on. How the fuck do you know that is the reason? Let's be real now. Okay. How do you know?
The amount of jobs that are being put out, but the amount of layoffs don't match. That's like everywhere.
Okay.
That's one. Okay. So that's one. Two, hold on, let me gather my thoughts really quick before you like correct me at one point.
No. I'm not trying to correct you.
No.
Never that. Come on now. You wildin'.
But two, if you think about it, there's two, which is the algorithm of your resume. If it's not an ATS, if the words are not popping out and they're not what they want, then it's just like if you're not doing it correct and out. Three, they always put the people that they recommend, like either in-house, they said like, do you have somebody for it? And they put it in. And they're just like, do you got somebody? Sometimes they won't take it. And fourth is when you submit it. It's till the day they post it, the first 3 to 5 days, and the amount of people who send it, those first 3 days or like 100 to 200 applicants are only accepted. 2 weeks, if you apply, they won't look at it.
Yeah, they already have like they fit their quota of like applicants, and then yeah, they're just looking at those. So
And you want to know what's the crazy thing? It's a scheme. They keep it on as many as long as possible because they want to see how many people are like submitting, so they can see as the months prolong how many people are trying to apply for a job to see like, oh, how many people are losing their jobs. You know what I mean? Like if they
It could be. Yeah.
No, it is.
No, I'm sure that it is. I'm sure that they're doing it. Every point that you said is correct. They're doing that for XYZ reason. I know this. But that's shit that you cannot control. At the end of the day, the only thing you can control is you putting in those applications and then not feeling that way, because it means nothing if you do feel that way, you know? And you have to fucking believe that, application or not, and all this crazy nepotism bullshit, recommendation bullshit, that you are that you are valid for such a role that you could be awarded it without a recommendation. You're that fucking good. Just like you said, right? You got all this shit on your belt. You've been doing it for fucking 10 years. You're undeniable now. So it's all good. You have to sometimes believe it. You know, I had a friend, realistically, there was a point where I was making $100 a day on an Etsy store, right? And my friend told me, oh, how are you doing? How are you doing with that? And I was like, yeah, the store is doing good. And he tells me, bro, you know you're a business owner now? Like, that's what it is. I know it's not a lot. But you are what your dreams are. The finish line that you're already trying to get to, you already are. I know you don't make the amount of money that you want to do, that you want to have, but aren't you already exactly what you want to be? Don't you already do those things, right? You're going to get there. So come on. I feel like you're so ahead.
I hope so. Like, we'll check back in 2 months. Let me check back with you when I get the job. Right? Okay, I feel okay.
No, I get how you feel though, because it's like, I mean, so many things are happening, and it also feels like you're kind of like reacting and going at it as it comes to you, versus like, yeah, sure, like like again, this is me talking about something where I was like about a year ago. Like I feel like I'm a seasoned vet. I've been at this for so long, and yet the noose of like financial stability is like tightening on my neck. And it's
I know,
like,
it sucks.
what do I gotta do to be good? It's like, I know I work hard. I can't help but feel like, yo, when things are going bad, that imposter syndrome just kind of creeps up on you and be like, yo, you suck. Like if you were better, you would have thought about this and you would have seen it better. But
can I ask you a personal question? Do you feel like you're behind? Because I'm very, very familiar with that feeling. Yeah. Both of you.
You go first.
You want me to answer first? I do feel it. I think with just the way that social media and everything is kind of built, you can't help but like draw a comparison. Case in point, if my brother and sister-in-law are listening, I love you guys, but damn, they're like at 6 and I'm like, hey, look, I just managed to buy a camera.
When you put it that way, yes, I fucking feel
it's a very like perspective comparison thing, right? And that's also not like fair because I live a very different lifestyle than them. But yeah, of course, I feel that all the time. I'm not gonna deny that, you know. One of my best buddies just had kid number 2, and it's like, ooh, man, like at my age, should I be thinking about this? Do I want, like, there's always that perpetual question, like, yo, how old do you want to be when you have like your like first grandchild? And it's like, I don't even want to think about that shit, but that thought always creeps up on you when you talk to other people. You know, I just do my best to roll with it, but again, it does creep up my thoughts sometimes. That yeah, I don't know if ever I won't feel behind. I guess that's the concern I have sometimes, you know? What about you, Jazz? What do you think?
I definitely feel like I'm behind. That's not even a question. But like it depends.
Really feel like you're behind.
It depends on the situation, because a lot of people keep saying like you're kind of ahead. I was like, don't give me these faces. The reason I say that is just because like when I was networking, it's it's a thing where I'm like talking to my mentors and it's just like I'm behind. Like there's a lot of knowledge I'm lacking. And it was just like I know I was in a company for like 3 years and like I was fucking up. But I know why I fucked up. It's just because like it was so tedious. It was just like the same thing happening all the time. I was like, oh my God, I don't know if this is for me. Like, do I want to edit anymore? Like an AE. And this isn't it's not even editing at that point. It was just very like more of a I feel like I was on like an assembly line
It's like
making stuff.
monotonous feeling. Yeah, it's just like whatever.
Being let go probably was like, you know, a wake up call. I'm like, fuck it. I kept saying like maybe I'll leave, and I got let go. So I was just like, cool. And then the thing about it, which was interesting when I got let go, was like I got into an internship and I got into the program, and it just so happened in my program I am the baby. Like I am the youngest of like I'm the only one that's in like my like I'm the first 30-year-old, like, you know, 30, and everyone above is like older than me. So I'm just like looking at everybody's kind of caliber in that class where I felt like, damn, I am behind, but I'm also young. So I'm like, okay, that's fine because being behind is fine because I'm young. So that means I have room to grow and understand. Like I also felt at a point that I was like, maybe I'm like out of my league. Like I shouldn't be here. Like maybe I'm underqualified. Like
Damn.
people, because like the people in my class, like somebody worked for like Marvel. Someone had like 3 to 5 years in like, what is this? In like documentaries or like, you know, doing reality TV, like had years on me. And they're doing this program. So like obviously I'm just like, yo, I don't know, like everything in the class made sense. So I kind of felt like, oh, this is great. I'm learning. So I'm challenging myself. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'm in the right place. But there are times I felt like I was behind because I'm like, oh my God, I don't know. Maybe 40% of it I didn't know. And some of them was like, okay, that makes sense that I'm like, this is how it flows and why it works. So being behind lately, I've been feeling it more. But because of my age, it's like I'm ahead. But because I'm like not trying to add the age component and I'm trying to feel like respected to be hired, I feel like I'm behind because I'm like, I need to like get all this information so I have more years under me to be hired, which is why I'm in the fear of like, am I going to get hired because I'm so behind in a lot of things? Like I should have been like coordinating or had a couple, you know, credits, like line credits of like TV shows or like all that
You
stuff,
want
which
some
I
shit.
don't.
You want Marvel in your fucking resume or some shit. You want something stacked on you, right? I get you.
Exactly. So
Mm.
it's you start to feel it a little bit. Like, and what is this? I know I met somebody from the program who worked at A24, but she got it because she was working for she did the training program. So right after she graduated and went to A24, I was like, God damn, I really hope like after I graduate, I get like I hope I get like A24 or like
What's your dream spot? What's your dream spot? Like, where would you want to be if you
oh
could
God.
choose?
Lately it's been weird because I'm a big like television like binger. Like I'll just watch and I'll watch because I'm like, oh, this is good. Like
We're gonna get to
right now,
that. We're gonna get to that.
I
Yeah.
know I'm
But who do you want
excited.
to
But like
edit for, girl?
edit for right now. Lately it's been I feel like HBO has been one.
I
Then I've
love
been switching
HBO shit.
with Hulu. Hulu and HBO have been, but then there's Netflix. But Netflix, they have like all the cheesy stuff. So I was just like, there's always stuff, but right now it's so slow though. Like I had a conversation with somebody, they're like, everything's gonna pick up for like everyone's gonna start filming in like March. That means my like October, December will be when we get picked up for like films, like for editing. So I was like, well, as long as they're shooting, I fucking hope we get jobs and like all these damn showrunners get their shows picked up because we need money, y'all. Like,
Yeah.
let us make more TV shows.
Those are the syndicated long form jobs that like again editors, yeah, if you get booked on one of those jobs, like you're set for like the next
That's what I'm
7,
saying.
8
Like you're
months. Like
stacked.
that's a long term jobs that you want
I
to
know
get
one of your
on.
friends was hooked up on fucking Law and Order, OG Law and Order, and that was like to
yeah,
me that's some crazy
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
oh my god! Like I tell people that because it just sounds so cool.
Yeah, and that's like again, those
Yeah.
are like long term jobs that like are great for especially the film field because they're like like Law and Order's been going on for longer than we've probably been alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and that they decide to renew it. It's like, oh yeah, like we're bringing it back, and they're shooting, and then they have different variations like SVU, organized crime. Like they have so many like different versions of the show or spin-offs, if you would. So yeah, they're going, and it's good because these give people jobs, and then when they shoot, people get to edit, and yeah, it just keeps like solid, stable work. You know?
We need more shows. We need more shows or movies coming out. That's what we need.
Are you a big film and show partaker? Like, do you like to watch? What would you say is a good movie in the last 10 years? Like a really good movie?
10 years?
Yeah.
Why?
Something recent. Something recent. Don't think about it too hard.
Well, was it Everything, Everywhere, All at Once? Am I
The
saying
that
one
was
with
like-
Constance Wu.
Yes.
No.
No.
Everything. Oh no, that's with Michelle Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh. Yeah, man. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah. my
Constance
bad.
Wu. Yeah, Constance Wu is from
Michelle Yeoh. Crazy
like
Rich
fresh off the
Asians.
boat. Yeah, Crazy
Yeah.
Rich Asians. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I would say that. Dee Dee was one that was really good.
Dee Dee. What is that?
Yeah, Dee Dee. You haven't seen Dee Dee? Man, dude, you
No.
gotta watch Dee Dee. Basically, it's like I think he's Chinese American, but I think in the 90s, he just grew up, you know, through, what's that wave? Like the skateboarding, like wave. But it kind of focuses on his relationship with his mom and sister. And like, you just kind of feel seen. Like, it's our generation. Like, it's like basically the director is like my age group, like 30s, and you just see
Gotcha.
yeah. And I was like, oh, this is. I know my boyfriend cried. I couldn't cry because I was just like, you're a little
Your
bitch.
boyfriend cried?
Because he saw himself between the main character and the mom. Oh, we lost you. Where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Me, I had a hard time to cry because I was just like, not gonna be a little bitch. And I was just like, nah, I couldn't cry.
Okay.
Because it kind of like resonated with him because I'm just like, nah, I'm just gonna like.
That means it's a good
work
movie.
through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Like, it's hard for me to cry, but I would say Dee
We're not
Dee.
calling
got
anybody
you.
bitches.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What's another one? There was a documentary that came out, which is the new wave, which is a Vietnamese documentary that's been out. They've been in New York for a couple times, but they're
It's
airing in
about what?
how do you explain it? It's focusing on an era. I believe it's the 90s or the 80s.
It's a
but
timepiece. It's a period piece, basically. Yeah.
yeah, and it's about the music that Vietnamese were listening to because like there were Vietnamese that were in France that they watched this like it's like what's our television show in the Philippines? It's like for Ocho Ocho and like all the
Vice Ganda shit and whatnot.
Yeah.
So they had something like that, but it was more so on the music side. Like it was like their MTV, and basically their singers were like doing what do you call it? Like remakes of the songs. And that was the version. And like, you know, they like the big like 90s hair poofy and stuff like that. And it follows that wave of them surviving in it and like how that's a genre in itself. So
Cool.
that's a good film that came out. It's 2024.
Do you like horror films?
Oh God, if you ask me about the new Alien one, I made my niece, I hope my family doesn't watch this, but I made my niece watch it. She was freaking out, but then she saw the ending of the new Alien. She said, scary movies have bad endings. I was like, yeah, this one has a bad ending. I was like, what is this?
I haven't seen it.
I'll watch it. But I will say, there's no spoilers, but the last alien in the Alien, he's a real person. Like he's a basketball player in the States.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
All right.
Because of his height, I forget his name, but yeah, like they hired him because of his like height and like
They got some like
lateness.
Andre Iguodala type motherfucker.
So like and he looks pretty scary. Like the way that he like got all maked up and everything, like that guy looks like, oh shit, like damn. I would probably
didn't
shit my
see it.
pants if I
Have you
saw
seen
that.
the movie, Don?
Yeah.
This is you're talking about Romulus, right?
Yeah, Romulus. Yeah, it's so I've watched a bunch of Alien movies. I am a big fan of like the franchise. It's hard because I feel like once you watch the first two, you're always going to compare everything else to it. But I think it's a pretty good return to form. But controversially, I also enjoyed Prometheus, and I know a lot of Alien fans who don't like Prometheus. So
yes.
That was the one that
Yeah.
was like grand and like awesome, and it felt very wide and shit.
yeah,
Like it was a painting, that fucking movie.
Yeah, like very artistically shot. Like again, just I feel like the colors and the palette of the film were like really great. But yeah, no, it's again, if you're because with every iteration of a horror movie, I feel like it gets watered down. It's like, oh, it's the same concept, just slightly different. This like Romulus felt like it was a return to like that claustrophobia and then like just dark corridors and yeah, like it felt good because it kind of brought it back to that type of like feeling. So
Mm.
dang, you brought your niece to watch that.
No, I
Nice.
saw it in my apartment. And I said, "You want
Oh.
a movie?" She's like, "Sure." And we kept switching because we were like, "Okay, it's getting too scary. Let's put like what's it
How
called?
old?
Parent Trap." She's 8.
Damn. She went back
Damn,
and forth from Romulus to Parent Trap back to Romulus. That's what you guys did?
We watched it the day after during the day. I was like, we could watch it during the day because I don't want to watch it at night either. And she's like, okay.
hold on. Did
And
my
she
camera freeze,
watched
by
it.
the way?
Yeah,
Sorry.
it is frozen. It's okay.
Oh no, come
Oh
back.
god, capture
Oh,
card.
you,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, I
Okay.
gotta go back to my capture card. But continue. But yeah, like, dang, you showed her Parent Trap and Romulus, but she was okay with watching both.
What did we watch right beforehand? We watched Romulus. It was setting the tone, but she's like, it's so slow. I was like, okay, let's just change it. So I think we watched was it called Inside Out 2?
Oh, Inside Out too. Yeah, yeah. I haven't watched it yet, but I
That's
love
on
this
Netflix?
movie.
No, it's on Disney now. So we watched that, and then we went into like doing a little bit of Alien, and we're like, this thing is taking forever to get to the point, but it got scary. I was like, nah, change it. And then we went to Parent Trap, and then she liked it, and she never saw Parent Trap. I was like, oh, this is my favorite.
The original with Lindsay Lohan?
Yes.
Ah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh my god! I said, which one did you like the most? She's like, Parent Trap because they went camping. I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Oh.
Dude, yo, side question. What the fuck happened with Lindsay Lohan? Remember she was like she was a gorgeous actress, Mean Girls, and all of a sudden like she got caught up in the partying and shit. Whatever happened to her, she got
She's
mad
back
fucked
now.
up.
She just
She
released
bounced back.
Yo, recent photos, she looks
Huh.
really good.
What happened to her? What is this?
Lifestyle changes.
Ozempic
Girls,
or no?
she's
I don't
living
know.
her best life and she's like she seems legitimately happy and I think that's what I'm grateful to see that she's like looking better than before, like she's glowing. So it's a good thing. Yeah, like just remember her from like Mean Girls and like
Wait, what's her
Freaky
recent
Friday.
movie? I think I saw it on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. It's like what
It's
do
a
you call
holiday
it?
movie, I believe, right?
It's actually pretty good. I watched it. I was like, oh, and I was just like, am I gonna get bored of it? I watched it through, so I think it was pretty good.
Yeah. I forgot who the her partner was though. Who was the other end? I saw mad shit this weekend, these last 2 days.
What
I
you
saw the
watch, Gabe?
Megan Fox movie. Did you see the Megan Fox movie?
I could not watch that through.
That shit where she's a robot.
Oh, I heard
What's
about
that
this
shit
one.
called?
Yeah.
I heard it was so bad though.
It was like variationness. It was like some weird ass fucking title. I was like, what the fuck is this movie?
I heard in the comments like Megan's it's like basically Jennifer's Body all over again. I was like, no, what's worse? I like rewatched Jennifer's Body. I was like, that was just bad in general. And I was like, I think it was okay. Because I was like, she's playing a robot. But I was like, why do they gotta add all the other things to like, what's it called, to like sexualize her? And I was like,
she was OD sexual. I was like, this is some wildness.
Jennifer's Body and like all the
no.
Transformers movies.
The latest movie.
This one
the
too?
latest movie.
It's like
yeah, she's like a sex slave a little bit.
Mm-hmm. That's so bad when you say it that way.
No, it's not that bad. Because the thing is, I was watching with some people and they were like, oh, why'd you put this on? And I literally said, yo, remember back in the day, like you saw Jennifer's Body and it's like, it's whatever. It's so stupid. It's campy. Like, we're never going to get those new movies if we don't try this movie. So let's enjoy the movie. So we watched it, but she was so sexual. It was crazy. It was too much, bro. Dude, you would not be able to watch it like relaxed. It would definitely move your heart for sure. It's crazy.
Yeah. But it's crazy though. I heard she wasn't trying to come back into acting because of what happened to her in the past. So that's why I'm surprised she's back acting. Like,
what happened to her in the past?
Well, like with Jennifer's Body and then, Transformers, like the like overall sexualization. That's why I was just like, we've never
Oh my
seen
God.
her.
This is the most sexualized.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like wondering. I'm like, why did she come? Like, I would have thought she would have came in like strong, like actually acting. And then no, we're just like back in like 2004 again.
She's not with Machine Gun Kelly anymore. You know this?
Isn't she pregnant with MGK's kid?
Yeah.
Oh.
They broke up, and they said that Megan Fox found some shit in Machine Gun Kelly's cell phone that was not appropriate, and now they're separated. And she's pregnant as fuck, right?
Yeah, she's
like
pretty
2 months
pregnant.
from now. Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I feel like their romance like was already a hot topic to begin with. Didn't they have like
I
rings
like them
that-
together.
Yeah.
Oh, they drink each other's blood.
That's
Yeah,
some
something like that.
Angelina Jolie, Billy Bob Thornton type shit. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
like these rings
Love
that they
that.
would have on and that they can't remove it or without like kind of scraping or scarring themselves. Yeah, look it up. It's crazy. They have these like really weird rings, but like blood oath or something. I don't know. I don't know, man. People do like some of the weirdest things these days just to show commitment. I love you. Here's my blood.
Let me ask you, how do you guys feel about Mufasa?
I'm excited. It's a before the Lion King. Like we all we know is Mufasa died, and you're like, no.
Yeah. Do you like the
No.
movie? Would you watch it in theaters?
I haven't watched it, but I'm hearing weird reviews because not a lot of people like the Lion King. But there's a weird Don speak on this too, where it's like this. What do you call that type of like films where it's like
Photorealistic.
yeah, like I forgot. Like it's like realistic, more animals, right? So like Pinocchio, Mufasa. What else? What else?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's like it's a little
The Jungle
too-
Book.
Yeah.
a lot of people are feeling weird about it. Like obviously the first 4 to 5 films that came out like this, it's like everyone's like put off. But I think I heard
kinda like
Lion
it.
King probably was the best one out of them, which is why people might like Mufasa and Lilo and Stitch that's coming out.
Yeah.
Lilo and Stitch is real people?
They're gonna make it more like CGI and Toothless, How to Train a Dragon.
Yeah, How to Train Dragons also like live actiony
Live
slash
action. There you go.
yeah.
Right.
Okay. I love the original Lion King movies. I feel like they were great. The live action one, if they made the animals' faces more like expressive, because it just feels like they look kind of dull. Like it looks like
Oh.
I just felt there was an expression. It's just voices like dubbed onto like, a real looking lion, which kind of like phases
I
you
need to
out
see
of
it again because I don't remember looking at it and saying this shit is bad. I thought it was kind of cool.
The problem is that it's not that it looks bad. It's just that you're not convincing me that this is like a line that I will be like, oh yeah, that's definitely like a line that I believe is expressing emotion. It just feels like they're just you'll get it when you watch it that it's just not expressing it the way that a human can, of course. So it just feels like people are just like dubbing over a lion like roaring, for example, pretty much. So
Well, I have to argue because it is an animal, so it's just like maybe
yeah.
as realistic. Because then I have to argue Sonic, where they had to redo it because they try to make him look more animal realistic, and people like speaked up about it, said this is not what Sonic looks like. Apparently, they recreated him to make him look like more like Sonic.
Yeah.
But now he doesn't even look like an animal. He looks like an animated thing. So
Yeah, it's just that's kind of the weird thing that you're pushing for. It's like how far can we push into like realism? But I think
need
that's
to
what
see that
cartoons.
shit.
Yeah, certain cartoons are able to kind of get away with that type of storytelling because it's meant to be out of reality, right? So when you do something that's meant to be out of reality into reality, it kind of is like, okay, how do we bridge that gap? So on the story side, I would be excited to hear more about the legend that says Simba. But will it be will it look as good? Probably. Will I relate to it? I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to be that guy. I also feel like I've been out CGI'd, slightly burnt from that. That's why I think at the current moment I kind of like more slice of life, period pieces. And then like Dune, for example, I think is one sci-fi epic that I really liked, but we'll see. I mean, I also am curious for Lilo and Stitch because that looked really good. Stitch actually looks pretty good. And How to Train Your Dragon, Toothless,
looks
looks
like
pretty good. He looked like Toothless. So we're getting better.
You give a
I
shit
feel
about that?
like-
You give a shit about Yo, you would watch fucking Lilo and Stitch and Lilo and Stitch, I understand. Yes, I will watch that.
Yes.
But How to
Yeah.
Train Your Dragon? Who fucking asked for that? The animated was already good. It was already perfect.
I know. Okay. Like, I don't want.
Shit, it's too soon.
Yeah. Well, that's also the thing. They're doing Moana, so Moana, like, I feel like we're running out of like IPs. So there's like, yo, it's not even been 10 years, and like, boom, we're gonna have a sequel, and we're gonna have a live action. So,
Fuck.
um,
I didn't even know fucking Wicked was two parts. Somebody told me Wicked is 2 parts. Spoiler alert, get fucked. What?
have you guys watched Wicked yet?
I did
No. How many times?
once because I've never seen the Broadway show. I was like, I don't got money for that. Wait for HBO. I'm gonna wait.
I gotta watch Wicked. I do, like, but yeah, I'm just curious because like they were like saying in some reviews that they deliberately made it into 2 movies when it could really just be one. But I don't know, Jazz.
I've seen the Broadway.
You watched it.
I've never seen the Broadway, but based on what my friend was saying, like they added scenes into it. But what is this? Technically, if they took out those scenes, then it would probably be the whole show because it's like a 3.5 show. Whoa.
Oh shit.
Oh,
that's the automatic AI shit. What was that?
I don't know, but I'm gonna let it do its thing. Is it doing it? Hold on.
Oh. Oh, what the fuck?
Is that like for Apple? Like, because
that's an Apple thing. That's not a fucking a Discord thing.
Oh
my god. Holy yo, that looked fucking so good.
That's actually really awesome. Right?
Wait, let's see if this one goes on. There you go. What was I gonna say? I would say because the show in Broadway is 3 hours or 4 hours or something like that, like the runtime of it is almost similar. They just made it longer. But if you have to think about like a book and a movie, if this is just all in the theater, then it is up to interpretation if they want to go beyond it. So I think it's fine. Like just coming from just like a film perspective, they want to give it more credit to it. Like so much you can do with it. Like there's so many scenes you want to explore what like Wizard of Oz, like the Oz looks like. Like because like in Broadway you can't see the scene. They now have like CGI to build it out. So I
actually imagine the world or like reimagine it basically.
I just think it's fucking egregious that they would only show half of the Broadway because it separates 2 of their biggest songs. Like you have to watch the second one now to see the ending song.
I get it.
Fuck?
I get it.
Cash grab.
My version of that is like, so have you guys watched like Across the Spider-Verse? Or I know a lot of people who loved it. I liked it, but I couldn't give it a perfect like 10 out of a 10 movie because it ends like at a cliffhanger. Or it's like, it's not the complete story. And I remember a friend was just like, yo, what the fuck, Don? Like, why would you say that? Like, it's a great movie. I'm like, I don't deny that. But you left it like me hanging. And so if I got to watch a second movie, maybe I'll give you the extra 10. But at this point, it's not a perfect movie. I can't watch it and say it's complete. Like, that's just not how it is. So yeah, I probably feel the same way about Wicked when I watch it too,
Wait, answer this question. If you were to watch a TV show like Stranger Things, do you watch it all in one go? Or are you the type that, if you can, let's just say hypothetically you can, do you watch every episode and then you're like, oh, this was a good series because I watched all of it and it was like released? Or are you the person that's just like, oh, I liked it when it was like released once a week?
Both. I don't give a fuck. As long as the subject matter is delicious, I don't care if it's week by week, and I don't care if it's all out together. I'll see the pro in both situations. Yeah.
But this guy right here, this is the one where he's just like he doesn't like when there is like a second scene because with TV shows, for example, Crunchyroll, right?
Well, that's a TV show. I mean, I think that's a little different, right?
But it's the same premise, just smaller form.
Okay, well,
watch the next one. That's the same thing for episodic. Like, there's always a cliffhanger where they're gonna show a little bit of like what's gonna happen on the next.
Well, I watch a lot of anime also too, so that's a bit of a loaded question. I guess to answer it for you is I don't know how I have to word this carefully, right? Okay, so there is a way for you to kind of come to come to a conclusion of things and it's still like acceptable versus like again Across the Spider-Verse where they're like, oh, like we now know, spoiler alert, that there's a Miles of a different time who became the Prowler. And
You
like,
thought that was
fuck.
egregious? They should have never fucking split that movie into two. That's what you're trying to
Yeah.
say?
Yeah. And that kind of almost like, in one hand, I see it as a cash grab, but also maybe it's just too much to put into one movie, which is absolutely fair. But here's another one that kind of also manages to have multiple iterations, but also happens to be like a saga, if you would. Star Wars. Star Wars is one of those things where you know that there's more to it. But like, for example, at the end of Empire Strikes Back, Luke loses his hand, he loses against his father. He finds out that's his father. But the ending is okay, they're like just looking into the future. Could it end there? Yes. Did it end there? Is there questions still? Of course. But if we're just going by like a storytelling perspective, that could have ended there. And there are series that don't give you that happy ending, but you know that's the end. So just depends on your perspective. Like I think I could argue either sense of it. Do I appreciate episodic stuff? Absolutely. You know, I'm watching like One Piece. And so I have been on like I don't know if I told you this, Jazz. I started One Piece and I am like 250
Yeah.
episodes in.
The live action, or are you talking about the cartoon?
The cartoon. I started that. Yo, I'm on that type of like roller coaster. So dude, like trust me, I get it. Like, you know, there's a lot of this whole pie of food that I got to eat and I'm like chowing down through it and there's a lot of questions, but yeah, you know. Yeah, it ends on cliffhangers. I get it too. So, I'm technically hypocritical also.
Mm-hmm. Say it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Say it again.
So, I'm
That's why
hypocritical.
I don't mind Wicked, because it's just like, if you want to see the full film, go to the Broadway show. If you don't,
Well,
what?
look, yeah, look, no, it's not to say that I think it's bad. Like, for example, like Across the Spider-Verse, 9.9 out of 10. But once I watch it and the second part of it, I'm sure it's gonna be a 10 out of 10.
Let me ask you some shit. You're watching The Fellowship of the Ring. They escape the fucking runes, the Morgul, whatever his fucking, the Balrog. When you
Oh.
saw that cliffhanger, did that disappoint you growing up?
No, no.
I specifically remember seeing that scene and I was like,
Yeah.
that was so fucking cool. And all of a
Yeah.
sudden, it fucking zooms out and then you see the credits roll. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I'm not going to be able to watch this movie? Like, I was so shocked when I saw that. Oh my God, that Lord of the Rings cliffhanger, that's the worst ever.
Cliffhangers are always a dicey thing for me. It's like, yeah, I'm down for it, but you know, you kind of then have to wait till the next year or something like that. Like, it's like, oh crap.
If you're
You
a
know?
fucking fan of the Broadway show Wicked, and I'm not saying that I am, but if you're a fan of the Broadway show and you watch Wicked the movie, you go into this movie expecting not one, but two songs, two main songs from this fucking thing, and you only get to hear one, and I have to wait another year or two for the second one. Oh my God, dude. You're just trying to get my money. What the fuck, dude? For real. Tell me
Well,
not.
I gotta ask, are you sure you're not a fan? Because you're
I haven't even seen it.
Oh, because your room is pink and your vape thing's
I
green.
know,
so I'm a little-
yes.
It
Oh,
might actually
yo,
be
that's so wild.
coincidental. Oh my God.
Don could speak it differently, but because I come from a different expertise, I'm gonna say it's worth it because there's more jobs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
No,
that's
also,
true.
at the same time,
Yes.
I definitely think that I'm down for that also. At the end of the day, like we're hungry for lore, we're hungry for stories, and also, and for looking at just from a financial perspective, we need jobs, and so hell yeah. At the same time, like, look, there's a time when I was into Marvel stuff, right? And yeah, that's another thing that's like kind of episodic, sort of. There's like always like a teaser at the end, just to be like, oh, what's the next movie? Like back when we were still in college, you're like, oh shit, you know, Captain America is gonna be like linking up with like the rest of the Avengers in the next movie, and then like what's after that? Yeah. So in fairness, I've subscribed to that too. I am a hypocrite of my own words. So
Is there anything you're excited to see that hasn't come out yet?
next year, next year there's a
Yeah.
lot of movies. There's another Mission Impossible coming out next year.
Mm.
There's
I
Lilo
thought
and
they
Stitch.
stopped at like 3 fucking Mission Impossibles ago.
Nah,
I
they're
swear to
still
God.
going, and he's still doing stunts. So Tom Cruise is doing that. Let's see. I'm a big fan of this because also I do love Avatar. So they're supposed to be the Way of Fire. So they're gonna meet the Fire Navi, which is like, oh, they're like
This
the
is
bad ones.
this is like season 2 of the
Well,
movie.
Well, yeah. Well, it's the third movie basically. So yeah, like there's gonna be like because James Cameron was like, hey, there's like bad Navi, and these Navi are in like
Oh,
the
I thought
volcanoes.
you meant fucking Abida Last Airbender, dude.
No.
Nah,
The Last Airbender, yeah, no,
I
not that
was
one.
so confused.
Well, but it doesn't sound that different, right? Because again, they were like in the water in the last movie, and now they're like going to the Fire Nation, right? And like this Fire Nation's the bad one. Which, if you watch the Last Airbender, the Fire Nation was kind of bad. No, they were really bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a bunch of movies next year. Like, I think next year is knock on wood, hopefully going to be a good year for movies and production.
Hope so.
I will.
I've been
Yeah.
watching Ultimatum. I've been watching a lot of Netflix. You know about Ultimatum?
No, what's Ultimatum?
That's like their show. That's like about quitting your marriage or not. Like they make them date other people one more time. Yeah, it's like a drama. It's a drama filled reality TV show.
I'm Loki putting on my Netflix just to be like, what the fuck did I watch recently?
Yeah, because like you watch so much, you just don't know what you've seen before.
Yeah.
Have you seen Carry On, the one with the dude from Kingsman, the little boy from Kingsman? Now he's like a TSA guy.
My mom literally just watched it, and like I am curious about it because a lot of people have said good things about it. So
Damn, now I gotta watch these days. I was like, because I have my Netflix on, I started watching Dan Dan.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
What the
I've been
fuck is
told to watch
that?
that also. It's another anime.
Oh,
It's pretty
That-
good. Apparently, I look like Grandma I say, and I was like, the fuck is this lady? And I was like, oh, I know which character it is now. And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't look like her. Look her up. I have like this photo that's been surfacing, and then I'm just like, you look like her. I'm like, no, I don't. I do not.
Grandma
But-
ISA?
From Dan Dan.
yeah, I gotta watch that show. Like I'm trying to find some time to fit with like for that pretty much. But what else is there?
You guys should watch St. Denis Medical on Peacock.
St. Denis Medical? Is that like procedural?
That's like Grey's Anatomy, but in New Orleans, right?
Nope. It's nowhere near Grey's Anatomy. It's more like a office into hospital.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Think Superstore Hospital.
Superstore?
Is it like Abbott Elementary? Like I don't know if
Kind
you
of.
guys watched that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's like by the same creators. Like I've been watching all of this because my boyfriend got me on The Office, but I've been watching rewatching Community. Was rewatching I'm now rewatching all of Superstore right now, and then Saint Denis Medical. There's an episode about Filipinos. in the
Really?
hospital.
Oh shit.
So good, and they say like Filipino mafia. I was like, is that a thing? And they're like, kind of does. And like people who are nurses be like, I could see that. I was like,
Yeah.
dang, it's pretty good. You should watch it.
There is a show I'm looking forward to when it comes out, like in January, and I don't know if you've watched it, but it's Severance. It's like an Apple TV show. Adam Scott is in this TV show, but basically, do you guys know the premise of it, or you want me to kind of give you like a little?
No,
I've
I've been told to watch Severance so many
It's
times.
so good. It's like
No, it's season
it's
2 coming
really
out, right?
yeah, and like I've been waiting for the season for like 3 years, or 3 years. Yeah.
What
it's,
kind
like,
of show
really
is it
good.
like? It's like a serious drama?
It's kind of like a serious drama, but basically, so your work self and your personal life self are split into two different like
Mm.
people. So you don't know, like your work self may have a relationship in there and vice versa, but you don't know anything about that. And same thing backwards. Like your work self doesn't know if you're married, have kids, what life you live.
Your work
So-
self is like a slave?
It's like completely separated from your personal life. So you basically have two different people living in the same body. And so it's kind of cool because then you start to see like how these, people who are connected at work are connected outside, but in living again completely separate lives. It's a little dramatic, it's a little science fictionary, like, in its own way. I think Adam Scott, who you've probably known for like some of his more comedic roles, does a really good job of it. Of being like very serious and showing like again some of his character's trauma because he is basically a widower. Not to spoil it for you guys so much, but yeah, like his like personal life self is miserable, is sad, is like a broken man, and the one at work is just a content, oh, I love my company type of guy. And just seeing this like dichotomy or like this like these two separate lives starting to really uncover and learn about each other's lives, if you would, is kind of like compelling. Because sometimes when I'm at work, I feel like I'm a different person. Like maybe I'm just like on autopilot. Maybe I'm just trying to like do X, Y, and Z. And then like when I get out of work, I finally get to let loose and be a little bit more of myself, right? So just when you think about that perspective and you kind of go into the show, makes sense. And again, this is a drama, so it's a drama, a thriller. Yeah, I think it's really good. So if you haven't watched it, it is on Apple TV. So I'm sure you could find a way to watch it, but I think it's pretty cool.
I was gonna say if you're into like the sci-fi, Upload is a really good one. That's
What's
on
it called?
It's called Upload. It's on Amazon Prime Video.
Ooh,
It's a movie, it's a
Upload.
series.
Yeah, and they have 2 seasons already. That one's good. Trying to remember what else that was on Amazon that was really good. That one was good. There's a lot of sci-fi Netflix, I think it's called. It's like plugging in someone in that's on Netflix. It's like Prometheus or something. It's like an animation one, but they're all the same. Like Carbon, Altered Carbon is similar to like Upload.
Altered, yeah, I like Altered Carbon. Yeah, yeah.
But Upload is more like realistic, but think 10 years ahead of our year, like 10 or 15. So
so it's not super future, but it's like near future.
It's ahead of our time.
Yeah.
If the technology's there, it would exist. So I would recommend that. That one's a really good one. Shit, I have so many films I just watched, and I'm like, it's coming back. So I'm like, wait, but it's all about AI. Like even watching the Megan Fox, it was reminding me a little bit of Upload because I was like, oh shit, we're getting too close. Like we're doing a lot more films about AI, but only to find out like maybe we are so close to AI. Like,
I mean, you're not wrong, dude. Like, I feel like, so when I look at my Facebook, sometimes they have like these like food, they're bringing up like all these photos and recipes. And I'm like, this seems like AI generated. And sure enough, when you look at it, it is. Yeah, I think a lot of things are now like AI driven. So algorithms, art, just anything social these days has like some form of AI behind it. Not to sound like all Black Mirror-y, right? You know,
I gotta come back, by the way.
Black Mirror was the best. That shit was a fucking wave when that shit first came out. The first season was like so good.
I gotta come back because it's killing me. Like that was probably the best sci-fi that was coming out. Like new stories every time to make you think like, damn.
Do you believe the dead internet theory?
Refresh my memory with the dead internet.
I don't want to get too turned up, but it goes with the premise that AI is to the point now where there is more content within the internet that has been produced by non-humans, AI and things like that, and it is now vastly much more than actual human generated content. It's to say that we've been on the internet for around how many years? 20 years, right? And AI has only been on here for like 5 years, that it actually has so much more content on the internet compared to us. And we've been on that shit for that long. Like it just took it like by storm. There's so much shit on there that there's no human touch. Believe that?
I don't think so. But are we getting more like AI generated stuff that's starting to flood the field? Absolutely. And it kind of harks back to what I just said. Like again, my tita sent me some food cooking pages because she was like, "Oh, you like to cook food here? Why don't you look at this page and hear a bunch of recipes?" And I'm looking at it again. If you've cooked before, you know what works and what doesn't work. But you look at also the image and then just
it looks so
chef,
shit.
It not just that, but also just something just seems off about it. It's like I'm trying to read between like what I feel like has been AI generated from like AI bots trained from like the Food Network or some shit like that, right? So yeah, like I feel like the algorithm is being fed to me with a bunch of AI generated stuff. That's where, again, when we talked about AI and I think about what will help separate art, like legit artists from people who are just kind of masquerading as it, is that you can kind of start seeing like the imperfections. And the imperfections I feel like are what give like life to things, right? Character. So yeah, just like when I look at it or like art in general, like you're not looking for like the most perfect lines. You kind of just look for the imperfections because that's the person giving their self into it, their personality. If not to make it sound so flowery, right? But that's what I look for now, and that's how I'm also able to kind of trace past that whole like, yeah, that's like ChatGPT just writing a recipe for me right now. Like also, this image was definitely driven by like Mid Journey, like because it looks too good. It's like it fused like a bunch of images together and tried to remove what it deemed like inappropriate, but they messed up because it just looks, yeah, it looks like there's like patterns you can see, right? Sorry, I hope that answers your question.
They say that your parents, if they're using Facebook, there's a high chance they're stuck on this AI generated loop of content that hooks them and that makes them think a certain way.
No.
Yeah, that, and hasn't been developed by humans. I mean, it's not just like the fake content, but also that weird type of shit that was going on about like the Tesla phone. Elon Musk, right? And I don't want to get too into it, has not ever once promoted that he wanted to do a Tesla phone. He said it once as a joke to be like, oh, if we need to make Tesla phones, we will. But I don't want to make Tesla phones. No fucking way. Right? And for whatever reason, the AI, the people that the AI are like they're using is promoting fake shit like the Tesla phone. So it's come to the point where they linked it to it had so much fake content, but it was able to garnish a high search within Google search terms. And to say that if AI could do that as it is right now, AI in the future will be able to do so much more than that and make you think a certain way. If it's going to make you search something that doesn't even exist, right? And they're able to make fucking photos of it, make it look real and fool you, that it's pretty much over. If they're already doing this to your parents looking at Facebook and now they're stuck, within 10 years, we're all fucked, dude.
Well,
that's what the theory is.
No, I'm with you on that.
Loving.
I just think that
I'm
also
not saying I
like,
believe it.
Look, I mean, and I feel like our generation grew up with the internet and they were kind of like just picking it up after the fact. Like I said, I look back years ago and like my parents really didn't know how to use a phone, and now they're like all on Facebook and like TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff. Like now they're the savvy ones. I feel like they're on social media more than I am, right? And so because of that, I feel like they're more privy and prone to like getting fooled. Like one of my relatives was just like, "Oh, did you know there's like John Wick like 4 or 5 coming out?" And I was like, "Show me." And they showed me like some AI generated like image, and it's like, "Yo,
I fucking love that
real.
shit."
And it's like, dude, like, I think they're easy to kind of like believe that, right? But for us, I feel like maybe we're just like cynical all the time. They're like, nah, that's not going to happen. That's not true. Like, I think we keep a finger on the pulse a bit better. But I don't know, Jazz, what do you think? Do you think that we're going to fall into that rabbit hole?
God, I don't even know how to answer this, because if you're smart and you're aware, you won't fall for it. I will say that. I will say, though, AI is becoming, if you use it correctly, it's going to be continuously be used. I only say that because in our industry, people use AI to cut down majority of the work. It's hard for me to argue like these interviews, like any like snippets of these, someone can make 8 in an hour because they're using AI to make these. So like for our work, it's easy. I will say, like, I have seen, I actually did a experiment kind of like 6 months ago around my birthday. I was trying to, like, God knows this, I broke my wrist. Like legit, like scaffold broke in half, couldn't use it, had a hard time. And on my birthday, I did what's it called? A murder mystery game. I was just like, I could have bought it, but I was like, I want to do it from scratch. I didn't have enough time. I needed a friend to help me, but she like bailed last minute. But long story short, I sent the AI on ChatGPT and gave it prompts like, I need all these characters added, but I need this person to die and I need this person to die last in that order, because I had to figure out people leaving. So I was just like, all right, I need this person to die. Then I had to I would test it. Oh, the light went off.
Why?
Oh,
yo,
shit. AI figured you out.
What the fuck, dude? AI, correct that. Oh shit.
I was like, hold on, sorry. My light turns off around like 10 o'clock. So I was just like, hold on. Let me if you do that, I'm sorry. I wasn't there to scare people.
Yeah.
So like I asked it certain questions. Obviously I did one round. He gave it to me. It was really short. I was like, this is not gonna last through like the appetizers and the entrees. I need it to last. So like we kept like updating. I'm like, okay, I need these two characters to have like a love romance, and then someone's trying to kill them with a knife. Then I added little things like the knife was found, character A found it, lights went off and like struck her, like, a butter knife. Someone was allergic to something because they were a florist. Like it gave it like prompts and clues and like, led it to like certain things. So like if you tell it, it can add to it. So like it's learning as it goes, as you feed it a little bit of something. So I'm like, I could see it improving really fast, but it is very useful for what it is. Cause like being able to like build out a whole murder mystery game.
Like a framework.
Like a framework, it works. Like AI, you have to feed it for it to work. So I'm like, I could see AI going far, but like I think where history is, they're only going to use it for this premise, but people are lazy, so they want things to be done for them. So it just depends on how you use it. To speak on that, if it's going to feed to our parents, I feel like if our parents are knowledgeable and like know the fake from the real, like if they have a good eye, maybe they will. Like you just have to correct them. I think it's just like just not sitting there and just telling them like, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I don't think they're just kind of picking up or like learning like things that I feel like we're pretty versed in more than 10 years ago. So that's why I'm like, no, there's no like John Wick 5 yet. No, there's like no Top Gun 3 yet. Like there's just no, it's yeah.
How many times have you helped your parents because their laptop got fucked up with virus and whatnot? How many times did you have to fix their laptop?
Good amount of times. Yeah, like I helped my dad recently because I think between him and then whoever used like his computer, like he'd have like my nieces and nephews using the computer, so they're downloading like a bunch of like online games. So yeah. So it's a bunch of malware and downloads and a bunch of programs that don't need to be there. But yeah. No, like I've helped them a decent amount of times. I still am like parental tech support.
Jasmine, thank you so much for coming by. It's actually been our longest recording. We usually only go for an hour. We never go for any much longer. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Do you have any shameless plugs? Plugs what you're doing for the rest of the year?
God, what am I doing? Oh, what is this? Honestly, just spend time with family and just like figure out what's 2025 looking like, because I got to figure out the first 2 months right now. I feel like I got to plan my life a little bit. I know like I'm going to be at my nonprofit for 2 weeks at Frenchtown, and we have a show already at the Guggenheim. So I'm just like, there's a lot of things happening. I was like, it's just like literally the day after New Year's Day, I'm already working. I was like, I just want to rest in the new year. I don't want to do nothing right now. Right now, I'm just preparing, but I got to do a bunch of shit right now, really. Nothing crazy, just working. I want to die working, though.
How about you, Don?
There's a music video that I want to shoot. Jazz probably will reach out to you because I do want to talk that project, Yeah, Jazz, thank you for coming on, dude. I'm so happy that you came here to join on like our creative venture. I think honestly, this is like a podcast that I had so much fun doing with, and having you as like one of our guests is also like really, really dope, So.
Honestly, I didn't even know when it started because I was just like talking about shit. I was just telling you things. I was just like, yeah, this is life. And I was just like, when did the questions come in?